Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm doing a completely different technique and different painting, different to what I'm doing currently and what I've done previously. So I'm really excited. I've got an idea in my head about doing a background a certain way with a brush and then doing a different technique on top. I don't know if it's going to work out, but why not just try, experiment and have fun? And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to take you down on the canvas so you can see the canvas. I'll show you all my colours, and there's a two-step process to this because I'm going to let the base dry and I'm going to do a technique over a dry base. So are you ready? Because I know I am. Let's see what we can create. So these are the colours that I'm going to use for the base, and I'm going to use my brushes to do the base, and I'll talk through that process as we go through. But as you can see, I've got 4 colours for my base. I've got 2 by Royal Talens Amsterdam and 2 by De La Rowney System 3 Acrylic. So the Amsterdam colours are the Cobalt Blue Ultramarine and the Prussian Blue Phthalo. And then I've got my 2 colours, a white and a blue, from De La Rowney. I will list all these colours in the description box. I'll show you the consistencies quickly. These are just mixed with paint and water. It's just so I've got a bit more fluidity when I'm using my brush on the canvas. So I've mixed all my paints ready. They're my colours. And then when I use different colours on top for the next technique, I'll go through those at the time. Now I have sped up part of the video, especially this first part where I'm just using my brush and a couple of colours. So I don't normally paint this fast, but I wanted to keep the whole process in so you could see the process that I go through, but not to get too bored because some of it is quite repetitive and some of it is about really feeling how your paintbrush moves across that canvas. So you can see here I've started with the white and I'm just spreading that white across the area of the canvas. And I am doing circular motions because that's the end result that I want to create. I want to create a circular motion brush stroke. And you'll see what I mean as we continue with the process. But it's about really getting to grips with your brush and feeling how your brush moves with the paint. So just bear with the process. Don't worry about that end result, but just enjoy that creation process from start to finish without really worrying about that end result. So I've got the white down and I'm now adding a blue, and I'm going to use a couple of blues, and you can see that again I'm going in a circular motion, and here I'm just allowing that paintbrush to have that freedom, but just again doing it in that circular motion. And that's what I'll continue to do until we get to the end of this first part of the process. Now, one of the main reasons I'm using a couple of different colours and tones is because this is about creating layers. And with creating layers, you get depth to a creation. So again, just trust that process. And now I'm using a Prussian blue. This is the darkest colour that I'm going to use. But I start off with a little bit of paint, really get a feel for my paintbrush as I go round in that circular motion. And that's the kind of effect that I really want to create, but I want it to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to start again, dipping my paintbrush in and just going in that circular motion, not being too worried about it being a free form painting with the brush. I'm just going round and round, trying to create that depth. And you'll see here that that's the intention and that's what I'm going to stick with. So I'm happy with the coverage and I'm going in for one last layer. So again, just placing the paint in the middle of the canvas, dipping my paintbrush in and just freeform painting in that circular motion. I'm happy with this, so let me just take you in so I can show you a closer look. And you can see how we've created this by adding all those different layers and then allowing that brush to have that free form as we just paint round and round and round in a circular motion. This also reminds me of the inners of a rose, and as we know, flowers have many different layers to them. So I'm going to let this dry and then we'll continue with the process. Okay, so the base is now dry, it's fully dry, and these are the tools I'm going to use over the top. I've got a balloon and a couple of sponges. These are the colours that I'm going to use. So I've got a violet metallic, a light violet, a deep magenta, a gold, and a silver. And they're all from the Pebeo pouring experience. So this is ready to use pouring paint. So let's go. So I'm initially going to do some balloon dips in each of those corners, and then I'll use the brushes to do some smaller circular dips. So as you can see, I'm just using some ready mixed paints, and I'm going to puddle those colours one on top of the other. I'm going to probably use 3 colours in each puddle and then balloon dip. And I'm going to do this in each of those corners. So when I use the balloon, I do hold the balloon firmly and then press down quite firmly on the canvas. And the pressure with that balloon hitting the surface area along with the paint will create that circular pattern that you can see here. And I'm going to use that same balloon to dip 2, maybe 3 times, because each time I dip the balloon onto the canvas, the paint that's already on the balloon will then be left on the canvas itself. And because we've puddled those paints, 2 or 3 colours in each puddle, each time we dip that balloon, it's going to leave a different marking and a different colour as it's dipped onto the canvas. So again, just pressing down quite firmly, releasing it, have a look at the pattern that it's created, and then dip again and then again. And I'm going to repeat that process over and over again, so each of those 4 corners have that same result. I'm then going to use the smallest sponge. This sponge is on a piece of wood, just allows me to control it a little bit. And I'm literally dipping the sponge into the paint and then placing that on the canvas. Because I'm using a sponge and the ready mix paint, there's going to be quite a few bubbles left. But don't worry, right at the end, I am going to use my torch just to pop those air bubbles that have been created using this sponge. I'm going to use different colours one by one and go around the canvas, dipping this sponge into the paint and then leaving a trace on the canvas. And I'm going to repeat that process over and over again. If you're enjoying the process and this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and let me know in the comments below what you think about this creation. I know it's something completely different to what I've done previously, but let me know what you think about the brush work right at the beginning to create the base, and then the balloon dips and the sponge work that we're doing now over the top. And let me know if you're going to try this as well. I'd love to know what you think. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to use my torch to pop those air bubbles that are left behind by the sponge. And I'm just going to run my torch over the canvas and pop as many bubbles as I can. I'll take you in now for a closer look at the wet version. Remember, the base is already dry. The only things that are wet are the balloon dips and the traces that we've left behind using the sponge. I'll let this fully dry and then I'll show you the dry version. And here we go. Here is the dry version. I'm really proud of this. It's something totally different. The brushwork on the base and then the technique over the top. It's been a lot of fun to do, and I really love the depth this piece has created by just using the brush. I think I'm going to try this again, but maybe with some other techniques as well. Let me know if you'd be interested to see those. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a great week, and I hope you're making some time for you and your own creativity. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. See you soon. Bye.